Now, the sad truth about a lot of horror manga series is that some of the best stories don't get enough recognition to get an English publication. However, most of the time, it's actual fans that translate the series that they love. But in rare cases like the series we're about to talk about today, Doubutsu Ningen, or Animal Human in English, get neither one. For being talked about in articles and manga news sites, I'm just shocked that, to me, you can't find any of these chapters online. You can find the full volume on Amazon in French, German, and Japanese, but even then it's a challenge to really find those chapters. So I did what people didn't want to do. I found all the Japanese pages and I just put every single page through Google Translate. So today I want to show you guys this uncanny horror series that you can't find anywhere else.
But if you guys want to see more anime content like this one, then why not go down and hit that subscribe button.
But without further ado, let's get on with the video. The series opens with a car flipped upside down, a man trapped inside calling out for his daughter Chica as footsteps approach. He wakes up in an unfamiliar room. Suddenly, a little pig dressed in human clothes enters the room, asking if he slept well. The man, convinced the pig is just a child in a costume, demands to know where his daughter is. The pig reassures him that Chica is safe in the lobby. Suspicious, but desperate, the man follows the pig and enters a room filled with more talking animals. He spots Chica among them. A deer named Anist, who appears to be the leader, warmly invites them to join for a meal. As they chat, the man insists that they leave to go to the hospital. But Anist persuades him to visit the farm first. Unbeknownst to them, the farm is a sinister place where the livestock are actual children. The father and daughter are locked up to determine their meat quality. Anist and his crew arm themselves and prepare to hunt down the duo. The scene shifts to the father and Chica escaping into the woods. They encounter a boy who seems off, and he suddenly attacks the father, calling for his master. A dog with a shotgun accidentally kills the boy instead of the father, allowing them to flee. However, the father is caught in a bear trap and he urges Chica to run as he screams in pain. A hog tracks them down with the help of the bloody trap, sniffing around for their scent. The father hides behind a log, but the hog finds him and amuses about eating humans raw, even if it angers the leader. Just as the hog bites his ear off and prepares to decapitate him, the hog gets shot. Anist emerges, scolding the hog for his brutality, but ultimately forgiving him. The father is taken away by Anist, while Chica is found by a bear. The chapter ends with a gruesome twist. Chefs are preparing for a feast for the Council of Animals, and it is revealed that the meat that they were cooking is the father's body. The first chapter is a good introduction to this new world, a combination of what I think G-Men and The Most Dangerous Game would be like. Now, anthropomorphic animals in a horror setting seems like something that should have been done more, but the closest we have to something like this is Animal Farm or The Islands of Dr. Moreau. It's an original concept that honestly I would love to watch in a movie format. The artwork is not bad, but nothing special when compared to most horror series, and it's also not over the top with its gore or blood. The scares here aren't from creepy imagery or the psychological horror or, like I said, the gore, but from its environment. The first chapter is very similar to how The Most Dangerous Game is played out, a hunter inviting prey over to his home to let them out and hunt them down for fun, but also for food. The thing that makes it scary is the fact that our protagonist is in danger and we, the audience, want to see them escape, building up the suspense and intensity of the story. With a simple concept, even without the broken translations, you can still understand what's going on within these panels. And with the father gone, I'm guessing that the story will be following the daughter next. However, it takes a turn that I never expected. The chapter opens with the arrival of spring on the farm. A badger and a cat are pushing a large cart filled with children who are destined to become livestock. One of the children reaches out to the cat, begging for help, but the badger quickly intervenes. Once they reach the fields, the children are released, only to be hunted down by a group of hunters. After the hunt, the cat and the badger head to a pub, where they indulge in fried human legs and beer. However, the cat finds the taste repulsing and vomits after eating. The scene shifts to the next day, where animal children are taking a tour of the farm and its livestock. Anist instructs the children to stay quiet so the humans will turn around. He leaves the cat to guide the children, showcasing different grades of human livestock. Anist discusses the village children with the cat, suggesting that they give the children a dissected human to study. As a child is laid out for dissection, the cat watches with discomfort and nostalgia, as if he has experienced this before. Memories of his past life as a human flood his mind, recalling Anis's cruel experiments and the fate of his daughter, Chica. In a surge of emotions, the cat prepares to attack Anis, but is interrupted by a child offering him human meat. Anis walks away like nothing has happened, leaving the cat to grapple with his memories and rage. That night, the cat confronts the badger, demanding if he remembers being a human. The badger dismisses it as a figment of the cat's imagination. Wandering the farm, the cat realizes his true desire is to be with his daughter. His resolve is solidified when he stumbles upon a goat assaulting and a naked human woman. Enraged, the cat attacks, biting the goat's neck and tearing his mouth wide open. With a newfound purpose, the cat vows to kill every animal on the farm, starting his quest for vengeance and justice. The whole first chapter could have just been its own story. The narrative switch is pretty shocking, but not horrible. It reminded me of how season 4 of Attack on Titan kinda did the same thing, following a new perspective, except that it's technically not. The twist of the father turning into an animal actually had me surprised, even though there were hints thrown at us from the beginning. The identity crisis and inner turmoil give a lot of character development to someone whose name we don't even know. His evolution from a passive observer to a vengeful avenger is compelling, driving the narrative forward and building the tension perfectly. As for Anis, he seems like the perfect villain for this series. He's more of just a political leader who would do anything for the survival of his people. There is still a lot to learn about him and the other animals, which is also keeping me from getting bored of the series. It keeps a lot of things hidden while still updating us on the world building and character development, just in small doses. The last chapter didn't have any gore or heavy blood, but in the third chapter, the gore appears for a reason, as it's the breaking point for the cat and it transitions perfectly to the next chapter's brutality. It's a great setup and continuation into the final arc of the series. The scene opens with children playing on the streets, their laughter echoing throughout the neighborhood. One boy, out of breath, rests near a bridge. Leaning over the edge, he spots a hog's head bobbing in the sewage drain. Meanwhile, a council meeting is in session, led by Anis and other high-ranking officials. They discuss a series of brutal murders plaguing the village, unsure if the culprit is either a human or an animal. The bear insists that whatever it is must be brought to justice, regardless of what species there are. After the meeting, the bear heads to a tavern for a meal, but is ambushed by the cat, who stabs him in the nose. The cat attempts to hang the bear with a noose, but the bear fights back. Their confrontation ends with the cat dismembering the bear and stuffing his remains into a bathtub. The next day, the bear's head is discovered, and Anis retrieves the brain, burying the head for the funeral. Back home, he places the brain in a jar alongside others, mourning the loss of the only friend who knew the truth about their origins. Suddenly, a noise from upstairs interrupts him. A pig's head rolls into the view. The cat has killed everyone present at the feast from the first chapter, leaving only Anis alive. The cat confronts him with a shotgun and shoots him straight in the head. But before he can pull the trigger on himself, Anis intervenes, revealing that the deer that the cat killed was merely just a meat-filled doll. As the cat lunges at Anis, Chica appears. The cat tries to approach her, but she only just meows. Anis has turned her into a pet. In a final act of desperation, the cat charges Anis but is impaled by his antlers. As the cat claws at Anis' neck, Chica begins to remember her father. Despite this, Anis starts devouring the cat, eating its brain. Chica wakes up to Anis comforting her, explaining the origins of their kind. He tells her about Virgin Maiden, a goat altered by human scientists to reproduce without fertilization. However, needing energy to give birth, Virgin Maiden developed a taste for meat, particularly brains. After attacking a human, her offspring becomes a blend of human and animal genetics that require human flesh to survive. Anis conveys a town meeting, proclaiming the end of the killings and celebrating their unity as the sons of God, despite knowing that they were just man-made creations. He takes Chika to the basement to meet Virgin Maiden, who devours her. Then 10 months later, Chika is reborn as a baby sheep, and Anis plans to raise her until she is ready to be consumed. As Anis leaves to fetch a cake, Chika reaches out for some meat. Suddenly, a soldier bursts in with Anis's severed head and rescues Chika. Outside, an army of men is exterminating the village animals and setting the place ablaze. In a distant city, a joint meeting of humans and animals address the genetic issues plaguing the product from Farm E13. So, they decide to purge the farm. Farms like E13 are scattered worldwide, housing various virgin maidens to produce animal and human meat for consumption. A soldier forces Chika into the back of a truck with other animals. As the convoy head to another farm, Chika stares at the burning village, whispering, "I'm hungry." Now the final 2 chapters seem a little confusing and just a lot to take in. Not only did we get answers to questions we had, but it gave us an answer with an extra layer that we just never expected. To start off, Chapter 4 was a great read for people that just love the gory slasher side of horror. It was just a chapter of non-stop action and I loved every single second of it. As for the story of the cat and Chika, I'm very happy of how they ended his story. I wouldn't really change anything about it, to be honest. But the final chapter starts with the twist of Chika being alive, which is good, but predictable, except that I thought that she would be a human like her father instead of a pet. It also took a book straight out of G-Man with the origins of the animal humans. We kinda knew that it was going to be like a mad scientist experiment that created these creatures, but since they were stating that they were the sons of God and the perfect creation of God, I thought I was going to be wrong. But the reveal of the Virgin Maiden was one of my favorite parts of the last chapter, with a horrific design and origin, plus a terrifying scene of it eating Chika. However, it starts losing me once the village starts getting raided, and we see that the farms are just a worldwide corporation run by both animals and humans. Now the translations at this point weren't that big of a deal. You can still kind of tell what the story was going with, even without really reading it, just looking at the pictures. But here, the translations from Google are a bit messy to read, and that's my fault. So I can't really get the full detail of this twist. But even then, I feel like that this ending needed a bit more of an explanation, not because it's bad, but because it's confusing and I really want to know more about this world. The final panel of Chika getting sent away to a new farm does leave it ambiguous to maybe a new story just from a different perspective, like from a new farm. But at the end of the day, I'm honestly satisfied with this ending. Animal Human is an unsettling but engaging horror series that deserves more recognition and a wider availability. Despite its limited distribution and it being challenging to get a fan translation, I believe that this series could be one of the best short horror series of the modern era. It stands out with a unique and original concept, compelling narrative, and an intriguing main character and villain. From the intense introduction to the shocking twist and emotional depths of the later chapters, Animal Human offers a darkly original experience that blends elements of classic horror like The Most Dangerous Game with thought-provoking themes of identity and morals. The gruesome yet captivating journey of the cat and Chika, alongside the complex world building and political undertones, makes it a more memorable read. The ending, while successfully being intense from beginning to end, leaves room to expand on the world while still delivering a satisfying conclusion. For any fans of horror, if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend diving into the series, even if it means reading 170 pages of broken translated English. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. We are so close to reaching 5,000 subscribers, and to celebrate, we are going to be doing a live stream here on YouTube. So go down to the community tab and vote on what I should be doing on that live stream. And remember to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss another horror manga video like this one. But I'll be seeing you guys in the next one.